Hey everybody, this is Rory McDonald from MacDon and Associates coming to you with the newest episode of Tuesdays with Rory. And I have a special guest in the studio today, local business owner, Aly Green of APS. She is a property manager. She is a real estate investor. She is military. She's a nurse. She's got so many different things happening in her life. And we're super pumped to have her here in the studio. Aly, why don't you share with the people just a little bit about who you are and what brought you to kind of the world of real estate?
For sure. So my passion is investing in real estate. That's kind of where I got my start. And I bought my first property back in 2015. I had no idea what I was doing. I was so lost. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to buy this house. And I got deployed, right? After maybe a year after I had bought the house. So not only am I a new homeowner, I am out of the country, deployed, trying to manage this property with little to no resources. And I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
And going through that process, really, really brought out how important structure in whatever your passion is.
Sure.
And getting that to making sure that your process is aligned with your goals.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. It's really cool. So in the property management world, so that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know, don't understand, because there's not a lot of kind of the cool, fun thing for everybody right now is to go run out and get a real estate license, right?
Yeah.
Everybody we know, it seems like, has a real estate license.
Oh man, someone told me, they're like, yeah, when the pandemic hit, it was like a baby boom of real estate agents. I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of right.
Yeah, the real estate baby boom. I love it. But yeah, that's the flashy thing right now. And property management is not one of those things. It's a lot more nitty gritty. It's hard. There's a lot of things that are difficult to it. Is your back? It sounds like, I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like the experience that you had of having this house, that was your first investment, the home that you were living in, that first home, and the experience that you had led to you going, I see something wrong within this world. What can I do about it? Mm-hmm. Am I being accurate with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Statement? And that led to you starting APS.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
So tell us a little bit. What is APS? What does it stand for? What is it that you do within APS? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. APS is just Aly Property Services. We're kind of a full service, other than leasing and showing at this time. Working on real estate license right now, so that shouldn't be a problem going forward. So other services that we provide are more focused on the investor, the homeowner, whoever this person is. We really want to do what works best for them so that they can have the best outcome and the most success with their investment.
I gotcha. So, with that's like the management side of, their portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do maintenance on homes regularly, whether they have tenants in them or not. I also offer snowbird services. So people who leave for 3-4 months out of the year, or only here 6 months, travel a lot for business. Those people really, really need services like this, because sometimes it's you get a house sitter, people have bad experiences. It's hard to find somebody to do all the little things that a house needs.
For sure. That a homeowner typically would be doing,
Absolutely.
Right? Little things like, hey, shoveling a path to the front of the porch, right? Cutting the grass, things like that. I can definitely understand and respect where it is that you're coming from on that, for sure. 'Cause a lot of times people that are in homes that aren't quite in the position of, I want to move to a condo yet, where they don't have to worry about or think about those things. They still have this home, or they still want the home during the time that they are up here in Michigan before going down to Florida or whatever. Right. They don't want to have a condo.
Yeah.
And so providing those services for them, probably at a better rate than what a lot of HOAs would would cost.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's really, really, really cool. That's awesome.
Add on to that, like even just because like I am a healthcare provider, I have a passion for like helping people who have fallen ill or have like gotten injuries. So if like there are clients out there, and I have one right now, like just assisting with the transition. I'm sorry, because just because I know this person personally.
Yeah.
Her wife died, and she is just having such a hard time.
Yeah.
And helping somebody along with that, with their home, it's really important to me. It's important to maintain your life, it helps with the healing process to make sure that like your things are being taken care of.
For sure. Yeah, this isn't just about buying and selling and renting and houses. The goal here, and this is why I'm so happy that you're on, the goal here is to take care of people, to take care of families, to take care of husbands and wives and children and future generations. This isn't just, well, here's your check. It's not just, hey, well, your house is finally paid off. No, that's not the goal. Holistically, right? How can we take care of people and take care of them well? So I'm glad that you shared that. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. So in terms of customer service, one of the things that we're super passionate about here is kind of exactly what it is that you said, going above and beyond and doing everything that we can to put clients in a position where we're not focused on the one individual taking care of them for this transaction, but holistically, how can we have a client for life because they know we're going to take care of them for life? That's kind of our philosophy here at MacDown Associates, and even with the insurance company that I'm partnered up with, ROIG. That's really our goal. How can we take care of you for the long run, years from now, where you're ready to retire and move to Florida, and there's no second thought, they're going to call us, right? Like, that's our philosophy. What's your philosophy when it comes to that too? I think that we're going to line up in a lot of ways in this.
For sure.
But what's your philosophy when it comes to like the customer service, taking care of the person across from you? What's your philosophy on that?
My goal with all my clients is just to understand your position and where you're coming from and where you're at in life. And just making sure that if there's any way that I can assist you, I absolutely want to follow through and do that. And if that changes, I want us to have that kind of connection where you can be open and honest with me. Like, hey, this is going on. I think we need to change paths. Like we all need to have that, like open communication and like sharing all your resources and having that client for life. I want to have a relationship with my clients. I want to make sure that they know that I'm here for them.
For sure. If you had a company party, you want to invite them out.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on. So obviously there's a lot of property management companies out there, right? You can go on, I mean, if you log on just Instagram alone, right? Property management, Detroit, 50 of them come up, right? Yeah. And I'm sure yours would too in this case. The question that I have for you, what makes APS, Aly Property Services, different than some of the other property management companies out there? With so many options, I really want people to reach out to you. Why should they reach out to you and have a deep conversation over a cup of coffee with APS, the leader of APS, Aly Property Services? Why should they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. I would have to say just because the how broad our services are. We spoke a little bit earlier before this. We can, I have a HOA that I assist managing mostly on not the property management side, the accounting side. So I have somebody on my team who can help investors file taxes that are good for real estate professionals. Like, that's hard to find, somebody like a tax professional who understands where you're coming from as an investor.
Yeah.
I don't know if you invest yourself, but as a real estate professional, I'm sure you understand how tricky that can be.
Oh gosh, taxes are not fun.
Nobody wants to think about taxes. I have somebody who wants to think about taxes all the time though. She all the time, she's just like, have you done this for your taxes? And I'm like, oh, yes.
Yeah, taxes are anybody who's in the 1099 world, they hear taxes and they know exactly what we're talking about.
Your heart just starts.
Yeah. It's just, either that or anger just comes up your entire
Yeah.
body, and you're like, I can't stand anything that has to do with
Some sort of
taxes.
emotion.
Oh, geez. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I got somebody to like deal with that for you.
Yeah.
So we have our accounting team is really solid, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's one of our biggest services at this time is
Cool.
more on the accounting side with mostly HOAs.
Okay. And then, so the other thing that I noticed too, or what we talked about earlier, is you have, so there's the accounting side, you have the management of the property in the middle of it being leased and in the middle of snowbirds heading down to Florida and being in the nice warm weather of Florida, right? And then you have another piece, which is like the management when it comes to a renovation or being fixed up. Can you touch on that a little bit? And where I have a question coming out of this. I don't want to overwhelm too much with questions,
Okay.
but yeah, the piece when it comes to the renovations, what does that look like if somebody who maybe I'm renting and I want to fix up my property in order to rent it out and increase what I'm getting for rent? What does that look like? How do you manage that? What does that look like?
Yeah, for sure. So I started getting into the renovation side when I purchased my second property, working as a live-in flip, and it's crazy managing so many different contractors. And again, I was like, I need to like nail this system down. I really need to nail it down. So I really went out and like built up my network of contractors and found those reliable people. So now that I have clients who have renovations, mostly small renovations, like bathrooms. There's like a half kitchen going on right now. But like making sure that my client has a minimally stressed. You're still going to be stressed. It's a renovation. Let's be real. But you want to lower that level of stress. Like you don't want to have to worry about that. So that's something that like I really pride myself on is vetting my contractors to make sure that they are insured or have workman comp waiver forms. Like that's, you don't want to get into something legal because you hired somebody who wasn't insured and now you have like this crazy like hole in your house and nobody's going to fix it and you can't find this person. That's terrifying. So many people suffer from that all the time. It's
for sure.
Sad.
100%. Yeah. Yes. That's not a fun thing to deal with. Yeah, not at all. Cool. Yeah. So anything else you want to get into? I mean, you're really into the investing side of things. I know we're talking through like the Burr method, which a lot of people might not know about. I'm a huge fan. Are you a fan of David Green?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love Bigger Pockets.
Bigger Pockets is the stuff. Yeah. There's a few people in our office that are huge David Green fans. Yeah. And then my wife too. She's like a huge David Green fan. That's our goal. I'm really focused on like the investment side of things when it comes to multifamily properties. The market down here is so saturated with investors right now. Are you noticing that?
Yeah. Like anytime I talk to an agent, because I'm working on finding 2 more properties at this time.
Okay.
And like everyone's like, oh, this one's popped up, this one's popped up, and I'm just like, oh my god, like this is crazy. But I mean, it's always real estate's always like that. And people are like, is it a good time to buy? It's a bad time to buy. I'm like, it's always a good time. It's just, you got to play the game right. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? So we're getting deep into the market now. This is exciting. When you say good time to buy, bad time to buy, you're saying now is a good time to buy. It's always a good time to buy. Expand on that. What do you mean by that?
In my opinion, it's kind of a pet peeve when people ask me that. I don't know if you're the same way. But
like, how's the market?
Yeah, they're like, how's the market? Is it a good time to buy?
Here's the best answer. You ready?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable?
It could be unbelievably great or unbelievably crappy, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's good. I love that. Man, a few words. Like,
that's right. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah. I might use that because I'm just like,
and then just walk away. Just fade into the mist. Unbelievable. Goodbye.
Yeah. Like mic drop.
Right. Exactly. But no, what's your thoughts? Like, not, I don't want to ask the question now that we just made fun of it, but what, as not just a homeowner, but as an investor, why is now a good time to buy?
It's a good time to buy if you've done your research, you have a good team behind you, and your situation fits the current market, there's always something that you can be working on, whether it's your credit or your knowledge, learning,
Sure.
like networking. Go meet people, go do a podcast, go do something. Like if you truly like in this game and investing, like you need to be doing those things. And there's always something that you can be doing to build towards your goal of building your portfolio or whatever it may be.
Yeah. And speaking of learning, I mean, we said it once already, the Bigger Pockets podcast is, I mean, there's Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone investing stuff is always really, really good. But the Bigger Pockets podcast has a way of breaking down real estate investing in a way that I've never been able to communicate, let alone understand. They're awesome. They're unbelievable. So if you're looking and thinking about getting into real estate investing, and I don't just mean like, whimsical, I want, the house down the street from me. That's good. Look into Bigger Pockets podcast, but like, they even go, these guys have 600-700 doors, 700 properties that they're renting out. But it's not just that. They've got, storage companies and whole apartment complexes and whole trailer parks and multifamilies. And I mean, it's just go down the list. These guys are super, super, super invested in real estate. It's definitely worth learning from. Like you were saying, like invest in yourself, right? If you're not able to financially invest in a property right now, it's free to turn on a podcast and listen to it. And it's a heck of a lot better than listen to some of the other stuff that's out there right now. So turn on a podcast, learn as much as you can, and then you're ready to pull the trigger. It's just a matter of having the right time, like you were saying.
Yeah. You really, it's funny. Like I like to think of it as like a game. It's like, what can I do now to like get to my goal? And it's like finding those little pieces and simplifying the system. Like that's really why I love Bigger Pockets. And I honestly like structured a lot of my things based on like how they do stuff. I don't know if you've gone into their resources, and they have like if you go like into their, I think they have like subscriptions and stuff, but there's like things where you can just like shove in some information and like it helps you do all this. Like that's so amazing that like that tool is out there for people. And it's like once we get like that knowledge out there, like so many people are gonna like succeed and do great things. And I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. Did you, when you started getting into, which I want to get into that just for a quick second too. When you started researching this stuff, I got to the point where like, wow, this is amazing. Wow, this is really cool. And then I don't want to say you hit a wall, but you almost get to the point where you're like, how is everybody not doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I bring up Bigger Pockets to people and people look at me sideways. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how is everybody not doing this?
Yeah.
That's maybe it's just the world that I'm in or the world that we're in, but sometimes I listen to the stuff that they're saying and I'm like, my gosh, I can think of like 50 people just off the top of my head that need to hear this podcast and need to learn from this to be in a better position in their future, right? Or for their kids or their children's children or whatever. Yeah. It's huge. But what led to you having your first investment property?
My first, like when I bought my first home.
Yeah.
So it was weird. I was in a weird, like, I think everyone starts out like this. Like, how'd you get into investing? Like, it's a weird story.
Sure.
Everyone starts like that. But it's probably not that unique. I just finished my 4-year active duty commitment for the military. And I was transitioning to a reserve unit in Ohio.
Okay. Lovely Ohio.
Yeah, lovely Ohio. So when I was transitioning, I was able to purchase this house in Oxford. And it's a cute little house on the lake up there. And it's like, honestly, I was like, I'm just going to buy this house. Like, I paid cash for it. And I was like, and then I'm just like, I'm going to rent it out. And like this is going to be it. Yeah. You know, I'm just like, I'm going to get all of this income. And it was not like that. Like,
no.
I had a tenant like caused like 10 grand in damages. And I was like, and he like fought all of them and like wanted to like go to court over it. And I'm like, what do I do? I just like, I didn't know. Like, I was like, I got into this and did not do my homework and like had a lot of bad experiences. And then I started learning. I got into bigger pockets, and I was like, I started like building my system and building my team, and like found the importance of doing all that. And like, you have to have that motivation, I think, in yourself to really do something that's going to serve you.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. That's cool. Oxford's beautiful too, by the way. I don't know if you know this. Before I got into real estate, you were talking about how everybo's got a crazy story when it comes to their first one.
Right.
This sounds nuts. I was a teacher in Oxford. I was at the middle school.
Oh, fun.
Yep. And it was something. I loved it. I loved it. I love teaching, love being in that community, love being in that district. But, I think the difference between that and in self-employment is just so drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun being your own boss. It's fun not having to answer to anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
But God woke me up one night and said, quit your job. So like, yeah, it was a crazy.
I'm sure Holly was like, sure, right?
Well, no, I didn't tell her. And then a couple days later, she woke me up and said, hey, I know this is going to sound crazy, but, God told me to quit your job. I'm like, go to bed.
Like,
we need insurance. No. Like, it was crazy. But like you're saying, like, yeah, it's a crazy story. It's a crazy, crazy story, but I'm so thankful for it. And I'm so excited about it. Probably similar to where you're at right now in your investment journey, in your real estate investing journey. It's good. The story's supposed to be crazy. It's supposed to be fun. That's kind of the joy in all this, right?
It kind of is. Like, you look back and you're like, man, that was really hard. Like, people talk about like, oh, would you ever do boot camp over again? And I like think about it, and I'm like, yeah. Like,
really?
It was really hard, and like even like the other training and stuff that we went through, and like being deployed and stuff. They're like, would you do it again? I'm like, yeah. Like, I learned so much through that. Like, I don't like to live my life on hard mode, but I like kind of like to learn through hard mode. Like,
for sure,
it's awesome. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who it is that said this, but I know it's in the Bible too. It talks about like, it's in your discomfort that you grow.
Yeah.
You know, it's in your uncomfortable situation that you grow. And, yeah, no, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Aly, I'm so pumped that you came into the office today to sit down, be a part of our podcast. Hope to have you on again in the future. Anybody out there who is looking for property management or wants to pick your brain a little bit more when it comes to the investment side of things, what you're doing, what you're not doing, where you're investing, where you're not investing, definitely reach out to her. We're going to have her number, if it hasn't already, scrolling across the screen so that you guys have her phone number. But Aly Green of Aly Property Services, so thankful to have you in the studio today. And thanks for sharing some of your story and some of the stuff that you're all about.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you next week on Tuesdays with Rory. But besides that, you have a very blessed day. See ya.